Professional athletes make a lot of money, and they're very, very good at what they do. Well, Mr. Jordan played professional baseball for the Atlanta Braves, and he also played professional football. Can you believe that? Two sports professionally, and he is coming to speak to us today. But let me tell you a little story about Mr. Jordan and why he loves reading. When Mr. Jordan was young like you, when he was a young child, he suffered from dyslexia. So when he tried to read, sometimes the letters would be backwards. His mind would kind of jumble up what he saw on the paper, and he had a very difficult time reading. So as he got older, because back in the day, they didn't really know what to do with children who suffered from dyslexia. And he struggled for a long time until he got older, and they started to figure out how to help him with dyslexia. Now, I'm telling you this because it doesn't matter what your challenges are with reading. You can get some help, and we are trying to discover those things early so that we can support you while you are young, so that you don't have to struggle like Mr. Jordan did. And because he has such a passion for reading and a love for reading, he has started his own reading program all over the United States of America, where he comes in and he works with schools to provide reading strategies, reading initiatives to get you all excited about reading. And guess where he's coming this year? To Obama Elementary. Let's give Mr. Jordan a hand. He's coming to Obama Elementary. All right? So he's going to tell you more about what's going to happen. But we are going to do a reading competition here. It's going to start this spring, and it's going to go over into next school year. Okay? The reading initiative is going to honor those students who read the most books, and then you all will get to compete and play in some games outside, and he's going to call, Mr. Jordan is going to call all his friends to come and watch. So we might see some other professional football players and baseball players, and they're going to come and see you all play. But in order to play in the game, you have to read. And you have to read the most books. Because readers are what? Leaders! Readers are what? Leaders! Alright, so we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate the readers here in the Eagles Nest. And I'm telling you, if you learn how to read well, you can be successful in every aspect of your life. Okay? So I want you to listen to Mr. Jordan's story. You're going to see some of his highlights. Now, I'm telling you, this man is phenomenal. If he played professional football and professional baseball, that is huge. I only know one other person that's done that in Atlanta, Georgia, Deion Sanders, right? So did Mr. Jordan. Okay? So that means he was the best of the best in football and baseball. Okay? And you're going to see him and hear from him today. Let's give Mr. Jordan a round of applause.
I've been moving calm, don't start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. and cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you loving on me. I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the things that they wish. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me. They don't tell us something was there for me. God's plan, God's plan. I go back sometimes. I feel good sometimes. I don't fake it. I feel that I'm the girl. I go down to G.O.D. I go hard on stuff like you. Let me show that no side. That's it. daddy love my bed and my mom, I'm sorry. Pick it up, I even gotta turn it on me. 81, you bring the passion to the party. And you know me, turn the 02 into the 03. When I 40 Ollie, they be know me. Man, in the back, God's plan, God's plan. I can't do this. Someone watching. I can be some fire, might come down to G.O.D. I know I'm Southside G. I make sure that no side E. It's still bad things. It's a lot of bad things. They wishing, 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 wishing on me. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things. They wishing, 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 wishing on me.
Wasn't that amazing? Seeing Mr. Brian Jordan play all of those sports? Oh my goodness. Well, guess what? I think somebody is hiding behind. Oh my goodness. Could it be? I see some feet. Oh my goodness. Is it Mr. Brian Jordan?
Good morning! How's everybody doing? All right. So now, you guys got to learn a little bit about Brian Jordan, right? Not only did I play one professional sport, but I played two professional sports. So what does that tell you? To dream big. And it all started around you guys' age. My mom and dad encouraged me to write down that dream. And I wrote it down. I want to be different. I love sports. And I want to be a two-sport professional athlete. I said that when I was your age. That was my dream. And of course, my mom was an educator. So it didn't stop with just writing down that dream. She told me to write down 3 goals on how you're going to reach that dream. And guess what my first goal was? Get my education. Read. The knowledge is in the books. But you know what? It didn't start out easy for me. Because when the teacher went around and said, who wants to read next? I was in class putting my head down, acting like I was sick because I was too scared to read. Now, why was that? Back in my day, we didn't do any studies, so I had dyslexia, meaning I saw words different than most people. And I was so frustrated because I love sports and I would challenge myself on the sports field. But when it came to reading, I was scared. But then I didn't want to be left behind, so my mom used to read books to me. But she was opening up the books and I would see all the pictures. And I could look at those pictures and I could tell you everything about that book because I was a visual learner. How many of you girls and guys in here are visual learners? You can look at the pictures and in your mind you are so creative, you can tell everybody what that book is. Awesome. That is a good thing, being creative. But, like me, when it came to reading those words, oh my goodness, I couldn't recognize them. But you know what I did? I challenged myself because I didn't want to go to class and feel afraid anymore. So I went back and I got the books that my mom read to me, and I remembered how she read them to me. And I went one word at a time with my finger. And that finger started out so slow, but all of a sudden I started connecting the words. I started putting it together, and that finger started going faster and faster. And I gained confidence. So, I'm here to tell you, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And sometimes we gotta challenge ourselves to get better. So it's okay to be afraid. If you feel like you got a problem, go to the teacher and let her know how you're feeling. And she will help you, okay? But if it takes more though, you gotta challenge yourself and want to do it. Because, like you said, readers are leaders. Now that was my first goal. Make sure I get my education. Because you gotta have your education to go to college and then to go on to play professional sports. My second goal, stay out of trouble. Don't hang with the class clowns. Focus on what you have to do. Remember that dream you left your house and you read every morning. That kept me focused. And then my third goal was to practice, 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 and be the best that I could be on the field. And I challenge anybody in sports. But now, as you can see, I write children's books. I never thought I would write children's books after starting out with dyslexia. But in 2004, I woke up with this idea in my head and I wrote it out. And it was about me growing up with my older brother. How many of you guys got older brothers and sisters? Yes. So I had an older brother who didn't like his little brother hanging around with him. And he was so mean. And then I finally got my chance to prove to him that I can play with his older friends. And I'm going to read that book to you today. It is called I Told You I Can Play. So, when I read this book to you, I want you to remember how I read the book to you, okay? Because hopefully we are going to work this thing out and all of you first graders will get this book. And you get to take it home and remember how I read it. And if you have problems like I did, you will take your time. And you will get better and better in reading, okay? So that was my first book. I Told You I Can Play. My second book, how many boys and girls like baseball, softball? Yes. My second book is Overcoming the Fear of the Baseball. When I was young, I got hit in the face with the baseball, and I was so scared to get back up there and hit. But my dad just kept encouraging me to get back in there, and thank goodness I did. And I overcame my fear. So what happens if I don't overcome that fear? I would have never played 15 years of professional baseball, right? Yes. So whatever your fear is, you're going to have to face it and overcome it, all right? My third book, Time Out for Bullies. We don't like bullies, do we? No. So my mom used to teach kids with special needs, and a lot of her kids would get bullied all the time. So she would come home and tell me all about her kids getting bullied. So for me, I went to the schools and I was monitoring the hallways and see who was getting bullied. And you know what I would do? I would become their friend. Because a lot of times when you get bullied, you feel so alone, like nobody's there for you. So, if you see that happening, if you become somebody's friend, wow, you never know, you can save their lives. So if you see bullying happening, make sure you tell your teacher first, and then just go and become a friend, all right? Then I got into chapter books. How many of you guys like dogs? Yes. So I grew up with Rottweilers, and I love Rottweilers. So this book, The Adventures of Champ Jr. The mystery behind The mystery behind Doggy Lane. Doggy Lane was like the tough street where all the rough dogs hung out. And Chad Sr., he had such a giving heart. Chad Sr. would race other dogs to win puppy food to feed the homeless puppies. And all of a sudden, one day, he had the Dog Bone Challenge. And he met his potential wife racing in the Dog Bone Challenge. And all of a sudden, they got married and they had kids. And Champ Jr. wanted to be just like his dad. But his dad did not want his kids hanging out on Doggy Lane. And Champ Jr. and his sister Star would always sneak down the Doggy Lane, and Champ Jr. would challenge the dogs to races. And he would win puppy food to feed the homeless puppies. So that was really, really good book, and I wrote the second part to that book, which is The Race of the Century. This other dog from another community came down looking to race the fastest dog. And first it happened to his dad. And the dog that came from the other neighborhood brought his son. And his son, he never saw his dad lose a race. And Champ Sr. was beating his dad. And he kicked the bottle into the lane, and his dad, Champ Sr., broke his leg. So in this book, Star, his sister's gonna fall in love. And guess what? Dog came from the other community to race Champ Jr. It was the son of the one who kicked the bottle into his doggy lane. So it's gonna be a fun book too. So I'm writing another part to that one also. Now, my sixth one, The Lioness Who Found Her Way. My daughter, she's a fighter. And I wanted to write a book about her. And this lioness was stolen in the middle of the night and taken across the jungle. And he attempted to sell her. But the zookeeper did not want her because he was a cousin of the other zookeeper. So he left Kinley, the lioness, in the middle of the jungle, all by herself. And she had to survive. So an older lion named Moses came over and taught her how to be the king of the jungle. So now Kinley became strong, and she used to hunt for Moses. And one day, she was hunting a zebra, and there was another lion on the other side hunting that same zebra. And guess what happened? They got to the zebra at the same time, and Kinley was like, I'm the king of the jungle, that's my zebra. And the other boy lion was like, I'm the king of the jungle. And guess what? When they both were born, they all had a brand on their chest. And remember, Kinley was stolen from her family? So she's on top of this other lion because he stole her zebra. She looks down, he looks up, and they had the same brand. So what does that tell you? That was her brother, yes. So they were, yes, good job, I like it. So this is my 6 books, okay? But today I'm gonna read, I told you I can play. Are you ready? All right. When Brian was a little boy, he was eager to do everything, but he especially loved to play sports. Brian loved to play basketball. He loved to play baseball, and he loved to play football. Brian's twin brother and sister were 2.5 years older than he was. Brian wanted to do everything they did. He was determined to keep up with them. But the twins didn't like their little brother following them around. Look at them, they're so mean. They're like giving me the hand, get away. They tried everything to get away from him. Sometimes the twins waited until Brian went to the bathroom. Then they would try to sneak away and go out and play. But Brian's mom and dad always spoiled their plan. All right, look at this picture. What is Brian doing in the bathroom besides going to the bathroom?
Looking out the window.
No. What do I have in my hand? A book, so it's okay to read all times of the day, right? Even in the bathroom. That's a little joke. Here we go. When Brian was a little older, he wanted to play with his brothers and his brothers' friends. But Brian's brother thought a 6-year-old was too young to hang with 9-year-olds. Besides, he was the only one who had to babysit his little brother. The older boys were tough. They played rough. The alley where they played football was hard as a rock. But they would crash to the hard ground, bounce back up, and keep playing. So Brian knew he had to be tough too. Brian wanted to play with them, but they wouldn't let him. "You're too little," his brother said. "But I can play," Brian insisted. "All I wanted to do was play, right? I wanted to get my chance."
He only wants to play.
That's right.
You don't have to play.
One day, Brian overheard his brother talking to a friend on the telephone. They were planning to play a game. "I want to play too," Brian said. "I told you, you're too little. You'll get hurt," said his brother. Look at him, give me a hand. He's just giving me a hand, like, get away from me. Brian was so disappointed, he had to watch his brother and his brother's friends play football. They were having so much fun. Suddenly, a player's mother called. "Uh-oh, I might get my chance, right?" "Johnny, come home now," she demanded. Now another player was needed to replace Johnny. "Uh-oh, about to get my chance, what's up?" Brian jumped to his feet. "I can play, let me play," he pleaded. Brian's brother thought for a moment. All right, come on," he said. "Maybe Brian will learn his lesson. He'll see that he's too little to play with us," Brian's brother thought to himself. "So he's hoping I get hurt, right? So I'll never bother him again." Brian was so excited, finally he could show everyone that he could play. At first, Brian's teammates didn't give him a chance. How could he show he could play if they wouldn't let him run with the ball? Then, just as his brother was being tackled, he tossed the ball to Brian. Brian caught it. Brian ran with the ball. One boy tried to tackle Brian, but Brian dodged. Well, I was shaking, running for my life. He dodged another boy, and then another. Kids standing on the sideline cheered as Brian raced up the field. "Go, Brian! Go, Brian! Go, Brian! Go, Brian! Go, Brian! Go, Brian!" They yelled. I was running for my life. He scored a touchdown. Then a much bigger player caught Brian. Thud! He threw Brian to the hard ground. Brian lay there. His eyes began to tear. Uh-oh, if that tear come down, I would never get a chance to play with my brother, right? So I had to be tough. All of a sudden, touchdown, someone yelled. Brian scored a touchdown. Woo! guitar. Some patted him on his back. Brian had done something really special for a 6-year-old. He had scored a touchdown against his brother's tough friends. That was great, a tall boy said. Boy, it hurt. Boy, I was laying there. Ooh, that tear almost came out. Brian looked at his older brother. He held the football firmly in his hands and said, I told you I could play. And that is the book. So, sometimes in life, there's going to be a lot of people that doubt you and tell you what you can't do. And my brother definitely told me what I couldn't do. But you got to prove yourself sometimes. And it may hurt, because it surely hurt on that tackle. But I proved that I could do it. And sometimes in life, that one moment can propel you to greatness. And again, I wrote down my dream, right? So I knew what my dream was. And I was going to risk it all and take the challenge all the time because I wanted to be great. And I want all of you to have that same mindset. You can be great. If you believe it, then you can achieve it. And your teachers can believe in you, your mom and dad can believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself, okay? And it starts young. Believe in yourself and nobody can stop you, okay? But it starts with reading. So if you start slow like I did, don't give up. Don't give up. Keep working at it. All right? Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Let's give Mr. Brian Jordan another big round of applause. Stand up here and standing ovation. Awesome job. I love that story. Thank you so much, Mr. Jordan. Mr. Thank.
Mr. Jordan, thank you so much for including Barack Obama in this initiative. Are you all ready to compete? Remember, when he comes back, we are starting a reading initiative, and he is going to have the two groups of students, two teams, to play a game against each other. He's going to invite some of his friends to come and see you. It's going to be a fun day, but you will not be able to participate in the game unless you read enough books, okay? So readers are what? All right, at the count of three, I need you to listen. We're going to say thank you, Mr. Jordan. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And thank you, Ms. Jones, for bringing him here. Thank you. All right. You all were a very good audience. And some of you were great listeners and you were able to answer the questions. I love when you listen and you can respond to the questions, okay? Readers are leaders. So we are pushing this initiative. This is Read Across America Week. Whose birthday is it today? Do you all know who Dr. Seuss is? Who is Dr. Seuss? Who is Dr. Seuss? He wrote books, he's an author, and he wrote a lot of children's books. Y'all make sure you read him Dr. Seuss book today. Okay, remind him. Okay? But today is his birthday, and we're celebrating reading this week because Dr. Seuss was such a wonderful children's author. Okay? Readers are what? All right, and I love what Mr. Jordan said. You need to start thinking about what you want to do now. It's never too early to dream and think about what you want to be when you grow up. He decided as a little boy that he wanted to be a professional athlete. Okay? So you can start thinking about that right now. and start working toward your goal of being just that. And you know there are haters everywhere, right? Don't let the haters tear you down. Don't let the haters tell you what you can and cannot be. You keep working toward your goal. We don't listen to haters, okay? Because haters will have you second guessing yourself and thinking that you can't do it, and you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Yes.
All right? You gotta believe it right now that you can do anything that you put your mind to. I'm sure back in the day, people told Barack Obama, honey, you will never be a president. There will never be a black president. But guess who was the first black president? Barack Obama. So, believe in yourself. You can do all things if you work hard. This is the other part. I'm gonna let you go after this. Anything that you want, you gotta work for it. We have a mentality now where you just think everything's gonna be given to you. Did you hear what he said? He practiced every day. You have to work if you want to achieve your goals. Nobody is going to hand you everything. You gotta work hard. If you want to be good at something, right? If you want to be a good football player, you gotta practice. If you want to be a good dancer, you have to practice your dancing techniques, your choreography. If you want to be a great singer, you have to sing and practice. So if you want to be a good reader, you have to read. All right? That is our focus for this month and this year, really all year, every day. But we are going to make it a fun competition, and I want to see which students make the team to participate in the game with Mr. Jordan. All right? Thank you for coming this morning. We are going to ask pre-K. You can start moving your classes back, all pre-K.